It doesn't.
Hey guys, we're here with part of our UmattR team. I'm Jadyn, I go to Farmington High.
I'm Ellie, I go to Bloomfield High School.
I'm Madison and I go to Piedra Vista High.
And I'm Tyler and I go to Farmington High.
And today we're really just going to be doing this virtual conversation kind of introduction to who we are and what we do. We're going to be hitting on topics like good decisions, good friends, drugs and alcohol, peer pressure, just different things that we see and ways that we can kind of incorporate that into the weird time that we're in right now. And so, yeah, Tyler, you want to start it off?
So one of the first things we focus on is good friends. And I think good friends helps you with all of it. You know, staying drug and alcohol free, peer pressure. As long as you have good friends, I think they'll keep you out of it for the most part. But bad friends too will actually help you, I think, because I found myself some kids on the wrestling team a couple years ago. I thought they were cool because they're wrestlers and friends, but turned out they were not good role models, you know, doing drugs and stuff. So I got myself out of that and found some new friends, and I found myself going down the right path. I feel like if you have good friends, you go down the right path, and I've seen a lot of my friends actually find friends that are into drugs and stuff, and they'll start following the same path, and next thing you know, you look at them in a year later and they're whole different people down the wrong road.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's a good thing you have to be a good friend to include good friends and get good friends, so just always be open to meeting new people, and it's okay if you're shy, you'll get there.
For sure, I agree with that, and I think that, like you said, if to receive good friends, you have to be a good friend, and so you have to be willing to kind of interject yourself. You have to be there when people need you. If you see your friends going down the wrong path or taking part in things that you know they shouldn't be, being able to be bold enough and saying hey, I'm not here to judge you, but maybe we should talk about this. Let's see how we can fix this, you know what I mean? And so it's just...
One thing that's also super good is I feel a lot of people learn by example, and so a lot of the time if you want to be a good friend, you have to be a good example and make good decisions, and I think that will bring good people to you, you know, because people can feel and sense your energy. If you have a happy energy and you're trying to do good things and be better, people are gonna gravitate you that are good friends, you know. So I think that's something that's super important to think about, is just worry about you and make sure that you're doing good things to get good people to come to you.
For sure.
And even if you make mistakes or anything like that, your good friends will be there to lift you up, lift you out of that rabbit hole, and help you to just better yourself and be a happier person.
Absolutely. So I feel that kind of can lead to the topic of drugs and alcohol. And what I've noticed during this time is that people are just wanting to get out of their house, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to have a breath of fresh air. And so they're going out and going to parties, or they're partaking in things that they normally wouldn't partake in because the people that are going out are doing that, if that makes sense. And for one, I just want you guys to know that you don't have to partake in those to have friends. That it doesn't add value to who you are and to your life. And so I just think that's important to realize as well. And for me, I've seen the effects of drugs and alcohol within my family, within my friends, and I've seen the awful road that it can take you. And it's not a fun one. And especially at our age, and even younger. I know some kids who are still in elementary school who are already being exposed to this stuff. I know I was, and you just have to be strong enough in who you are and have to have those good friends to realize that, oh no, I don't need to do that. And even simple stuff like vaping has become a big thing. And I don't know, what have you guys seen?
Countertop drugs too, like you have to be super careful with that. And I agree with like everything that you were saying, Jadyn. And I think that also just because the temptation's there doesn't mean you have to give in. And especially if you live like in a small town or a community where there's not a lot to do, you know, there's things that you can do. You can ask your friends, hey, let's go play hide and seek, or let's play Monopoly, let's have a movie marathon. Anything to like keep you busy, keep you active instead of just indulging in all the temptations that you face every day.
I believe that like there's like, I don't see their like point in doing it, like juuling. Like if you want a strawberry, go eat a strawberry. Why are you gonna go get some buzz in your mouth or something that tastes like a strawberry when you just go eat one, or like go play with your friends, or go do something useful? Like I don't see why I think it like hides themselves from the reality is why people do it. And I think if you actually like take time just to maybe like if something's wrong with your life, I don't think you should like lean on drugs and alcohol. Maybe go do something like useful, or like go talk to someone. I don't think you need to like you find a lot of people leaning on that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was mostly going to talk about good decisions today, and one thing that my dad always says, he says, this is your decade of decision from, 10 to 20. This is all of the time that you're making decisions, and so it's so important to focus on making good decisions. And, with drugs and alcohol, I mostly just want to talk about how you have to be nice to yourself, especially during these times. There's so many things that are just hurting you, just socially, especially right now. It's hard to find good people to hang out with, especially because, it's considered not safe anymore to be around people, and a lot of social norms and everything. So I think that you just really have to focus on yourself and what you need, and how you can better yourself, and I think that it starts with the little things, like make your bed in the morning, start your day off right, eat your breakfast, and get an hour of exercise, or just eat healthy and be nice to yourself, and it'll better your mind and make you think clearer and just have a better outlook on everything in life, because I think that right now we can't lean on the things that always used to like make those decisions for us, like school made the decisions of when we eat and our breaks and everything, and so now you have to make that for yourself. And I think that that's it's hard at first, but once you get into that routine and you understand that you're bettering yourself, it makes everything so much easier. And I think that once you start with those little things, the big things become so much easier, because now your mind doesn't wander to all of the bad things or anything like that, and you can just think of, I'm making myself better in this decade of decision, and so I think that that's just super important, because pretty soon, like whenever you're our age, you're thinking about going to college or what career paths you're going to take, and a lot of them, they ask you, well, have you been like drug and alcohol free, or you have to take drug tests and things like that, and you want to be able to say, I haven't done any of that. I have a clean slate, and I've bettered myself up into this point, and so I am ready for whatever has to come my way.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
I don't think anybody could have put that better. That was really good.
Exactly. That reminded me of what my chemistry teacher said. He said the secret of life is to just get up and do what you need to do and think positively about it. And I think that's exactly what you said, and I think you said it really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also think like it's important to know that like if you have made those bad decisions too, that like for one, like you said, like be nice to yourself. Like you can absolutely move on from that. Like you can forgive yourself, you can move on, and you can better yourself because of it. Like you've had that experience, and now you're like, okay, well, I learned from that. That probably wasn't the best idea. Like how can we grow now? Like how can we move on?
Absolutely, because like none of us here are perfect. And
Oh no, definitely not.
No.
We all make decisions. Do I eat my breakfast every day and make my bed every day?
No. Yeah.
But it's just something to strive for.
For sure, absolutely.
You could always find people to help you if you're having trouble with yourself. It's like good friends we talked about earlier.
Yeah, just start with the little things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with peer pressure too. And in today's society, there's a lot of peer pressure. You have social media telling you, you know, if you want to be cool, you have to do these things, you have to buy this, your friends have to look like this. And also just maybe in our families, like you feel peer pressure from your parents, like you need to get the perfect grades, or your teachers, like I expect better of you, or even your friends, your good friends can also peer pressure you sometimes. And it's a hard world that we live in with all of that stuff, but I think that a way to deal with that, you'd have to be confident in yourself, and you have to say, I am who I am, this is what I believe, and I am strong in my faith and my beliefs, and I'm not going to partake in any of that nonsense, you know? And especially for me, in the junior high, like everybody wants to be with the cool popular girls or whatever, and they all have their Miss Me jeans, and you know, you wanna do whatever you can to like be cool, you know? But drugs and alcohol or bullying kids, it's not cool. And especially me, I definitely would go down the rabbit hole, and I would make really a lot of mistakes. But looking back on it now, my good friends were always there telling me, that's not you. So I think just being confident in yourself and learning from your mistakes and leaning on your own experience and your beliefs is important in dealing with peer pressure.
And I think another thing too with like peer pressure is it's so easy to give in to like the cool kids, because you're like, oh, like this is how
like, she has a boyfriend, I want one of those.
Exactly,
how do I get that?
And so, oh, like this is how, like, oh, that must be what I do to, and honestly, no, that's not right at all. And really, the people that are peer pressuring you to do something that you don't want to do are usually the ones who aren't secure.
They feel bad
in
about themselves, and they just want to put you down so they can feel better.
It really is another form of bullying, and it's so sad that so many kids these days think that like, oh, I have to do this to fit in, like. And this is like probably the cheesiest quote ever, but this is something that like I have had to hold on to. Like, why fit in when you were born to stand out? Like, you don't have to be doing what everybody else is doing. It's okay to stand by yourself and to make those good decisions, because sooner or later people will see you like as a leader, and people will start following after that.
With that, I saw one of my friends, like, he was a good friend, but he was stuck with drooling like everyone else, right? So we were out like looking for elk antlers, you know, and he said, rip the drool. I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. I looked at him, and he looked at me like I was a weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
And I told him like I was like, dude, what comes out of that? I said what I said earlier, like if you're gonna eat a strawberry, go eat a strawberry. And you know, he looked at me and laughed, and then I found out like he actually listened to me, you know, he stopped it because I think I made him feel stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Like he kind of felt guilty, you know? Like I wasn't nervous, like, no, or to give in. Like, I was like, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And, like, I think it really affected him. I don't think he does it no more.
Actually, and it really is okay to say no.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not comfortable with something, like, in any aspect, like, it's okay to say no. Like, with drooling, like, that was a huge pressure for me all last year and sophomore year, too. Everybody was like, oh, like, you won't do it. And you're like, no, I won't. Like, I'm not going to do it.
And
exactly.
One thing too, I feel like you definitely do have to sacrifice some things. You know, it's not always going to be easy, and maybe you do want to. Like, I know certain times I've been like, well, I mean, why not?
Exactly.
You know, because like it's not maybe that you don't want to, but it's maybe, you know, more that you know that you're making good decisions now to have a good life, you know, later on, and be able to do what you want to do and achieve your goals and achieve your dreams. And just be as your best self as you can be, you know? And so I think that, you know, a lot of the times, you know, it's hard to make those good decisions, and it's not, like, peer pressure is hard, you know, because maybe it will make you have this friend group, or maybe it will make you cool, or, you know, just whatever, but, you know, you just have to understand that the hard choices are usually the good ones.
Yeah, that's
nothing good ever came through anything easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. I like that.
And even if you feel like you are being peer pressured in any form, in any way, like there's always people there to help you. Like we're always going to be here. You can reach out in any way that you want. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. But I almost can guarantee you that somebody's willing to listen to you and help you out of that situation, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a huge reason why we are here.
We've all been through it.
Exactly.
We've all
Like,
been through
we're
years.
examples of, like, honestly, this isn't our whole team, but one of us has probably been through what you feel like you're going through. And these are weird times, but I feel like a lot of the issues that we're talking about are pretty normal, like, throughout life, like, throughout history. And I just, like, I want you guys to know that, like Ellie said, like, you can find us, you can reach out to us, and, like, we're here to help, and we're here to be that, like, example for you.
And we want to.
Exactly,
That's why
like,
we're
that's
here, yeah.
really why we're here.
We may have to social distance, but it's not socially distanced.
Yeah, we're still gonna,
We'll still be here.
we'll still make time.
Physically distant, not socially distant.
All right,
Exactly.
guys, well, I think that was a really good conversation.
I think so.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.